Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures continued, issue number 22 from IDW, A Strike Most Foul. And as you've probably guessed, this is kind of a baseball theme, sort of, not really. I was thinking we're going to have like the Turtles playing against the villains in the baseball game of some kind. They even lampshade that, but no, that doesn't happen at all. So we do start off with April at a game, basically talking about how it's going to be a championship match between two New York teams. And Casey is a fan of one team while Raphael is a fan of the other. And that's when the broadcast gets interrupted by Tempestra, who we've seen before in a previous Saturday Morning Adventures comic. I am kind of hoping that we will have the writers go and get some new villains, because it seems like now we're kind of just recycling some of the previous villains that we've already seen before. I mean, the cartoons have a huge rogues gallery list of villains you can choose from. So maybe do that. Not to mention we still have the whole like Shredder being trapped in another dimension thing that's kind of been put on hold for a while. So yeah. But we got Tempestra, and she basically says that I want you to pay me a bunch of money, New York. Otherwise, I am going to cause a bunch of hurricanes and stuff because I can control the weather, and I'm going to ruin your championship game. And so the Turtles are like, well, we can't have that happen. So they decide to go investigate. So they go to Channel 6 News, where they talk with April to find out if they can locate where Tempestra might be at. And Irma's like, we don't know the exact location. We just know it's between this borough and this borough. So you kind of have to figure it out on your own. And so we have the baseball game happening a couple of days later. And before the game can start, Tempestra shows up and she starts summoning a bunch of electrical monster minions. And the game is basically ruined. Like, they have to postpone the game. And the Turtles show up dressed in baseball uniforms for some reason. It's kind of weird because it's not like they were hiding on the field or anything. They were like up in the cheap seats. So the fact that they're wearing outfits is just kind of hilarious. I think it's supposed to be because they know that they're going to be filmed, and I guess they're trying to hide their identity as giant turtles. Not that baseball uniforms are really going to do much to hide your identity, but whatever. So yeah, they tried to use the same technique that they used to stop Tempestra in the past. So in the cartoon series, Tempestra is a villain from a video game that was like brought back to life and stuff. And they were able to stop her by basically putting her inside this chip. And she was able to escape because someone bought the chip from a pawn shop and created an arcade cabinet. And as soon as it was done, she was able to make her escape. So Donnie's trying to get her back into her digital form so that he can get her trapped in this chip. Unfortunately, as they're doing that, Casey decides to break the machine that is slowly transforming her into the chip for some reason. His explanation is, I had to keep that lawbreaker from destroying my favorite team's stadium. But it's like, she was being captured. I guess it's because as she was being captured, she was having her powers go crazy. But still, if you had just waited a few more seconds, she would have been fully captured. But now she's free because Casey broke the drone that was capturing her. And she decides to make her escape. And Donnie's like, well, she made her escape, but I was able to capture some information from her with the chip. I just need to go to the turtle van and we can gather more information on her. And so they're at the turtle van. And again, I love this van as a kid, and I still love it to this day. It's an ugly ass van, but it's still hilarious. It has a soft spot in my heart. But I do find it funny that the Turtles always go out of their way to try to hide their identities, to try to hide the fact that they're mutant turtles. And yet they like fly around in giant blimps that say Turtles and have turtle designs. They drive around this crazy looking van that says Turtles on it and has a turtle design. On the one hand, they're trying to hide who they are, but on the other hand, they're constantly broadcasting who they are. It's just this weird contradiction that I never really noticed. I noticed it a little bit as a kid, but I just kind of brushed past it. But now, like, reading this as an adult, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of weird. But they're able to locate where she's at. Basically, she's gone back to the building where she was developed. And so the Turtles decide to break into that building and start fighting her again. And so we have a fight scene between the Turtles and Tempestra. And I'm going to stop it here. This is going to be a shorter video, but I don't want to spoil everything. This was okay. It was just a nice little filler issue. Like, we have this ongoing arc where we have Shredder being trapped in an alternate dimension. Well, he's kind of trapped between two planes of dimensions, and Hobbs is currently working with Krang so that Hobbs can get his people transported to Earth. Meanwhile, Krang is going to use Hobbs to get Shredder back to Earth, as well as able to open up a portal to Dimension X. So they're working with each other. But that whole arc is kind of just put on hold so that we can have this filler story that has nothing to do with the arc whatsoever. If you're okay with filler, yeah, go read it. But I don't know. I'm one of those people that is always kind of weird. Like, I get filler in anime because at times you have anime getting caught up with the manga, and so they have to put in filler for the manga to be able to release some chapters for them to adapt. But I don't know why you need to have filler here. You could either just have an ongoing story, or you can just make every single issue a one-shot. But to have an ongoing story get interrupted by one-shots, I don't know. It kind of, I don't want to say it bothers me, but it's a little, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done this. If you want to have an ongoing arc but also have one-shots, have an ongoing arc, end the arc, do a couple of one-shots, then have another arc, end that arc eventually, and then do a couple of one-shots. Like, don't put filler one-shots in between arcs. Finish your arcs first and then have your one-shots, and then you can go back to doing another arc and then your one-shots. But putting in filler in between an arc, I don't know, it bothers me a little bit. But that's basically it. I enjoyed the series. I wouldn't give it like a high grade or anything like that, but it's just nice, childish entertainment. So, like, if you got kids, let them read it. If you don't got kids but you grew up on this, then maybe you'll enjoy it for the nostalgia. But if you're looking for like deep, complicated stories or like really cool fight scenes or anything like that, you're obviously not going to find that here, because this is just pretty much nostalgia on the cartoon series. Go instead read the current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles run, which I just did a review for the latest issue today. So you can go check that out. It came out before this video got released. So that is if you want like cool, entertaining stories with amazing artwork and stuff. This is just if you want nostalgic entertainment. Just simple Saturday morning adventure style story writing. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.